Daniel Paluszek again with the VMware Cloud Provider Program, part 3 of our legacy vSphere migration using vCloud availability. We just finished up our initial synchronization of our VM. We're going to be migrating to a VMware Cloud Provider platform using a on-prem replicator from vCloud availability connected to a vSphere 5.5 environment. We set up replication or that initial synchronization to this NVM02. That is now completed. So now we're ready to specify our destination networks along with doing our migration. So I'm going to go ahead and click on networks. Within this org VDC, I've created an app network. That's a routed network to the edge within this org VDC. We're going to go ahead and also specify that we're going to give it a static IP address out of my IP pool. So we'll let VCD do some of this heavy lifting on that failover, which again expedites and speeds up this migration process when we move VMs from a legacy environment to the cloud environment. So we'll go ahead and click on apply. And now we're ready to do that migration. So we'll go ahead and click on the migration. We have a few options here, so we're going to go ahead and power on the recovered VApp or VMs on that. So if this was one or many different VMs that we consolidate into VApp, that would be an option in here. We're going to apply those pre-configured network settings on the migration. And any of the source VMs or VApps will be powered off. So what we should see here is a call to the source instance or our source vCenter environment on 5.5. That should shut down, and we should see this boot up within our VCD environment. Click on next, and we're going to hit finish. So we can see the operation is going on, and we'll go ahead and take a look at our vCenter, and we can see that the task already initiated the guest OS shutdown. My console is now off, so it did a clean shutdown, which is great. We're doing that initial, or I guess that final synchronization of the virtual machine. Since we just replicated it, there could have been a couple block changes that needed to be copied over based off of that. We're disabling the replication since we're doing a migration. We're calling on the vCenter, which in turn calls on the vSphere host to disable the host-based replication service inside of the hypervisor for that tagged VM. Let's jump back over to the console. So we can see it's migrating here, and I also have a window to my provider environment. So we can go look and see what's happening in the background on the provider-backed vSphere environment. So we can see that we have a couple tasks popping in here. So we can see that we have the NVM02 virtual machine. It looks like it was just reconfigured here. And now that disk, when we did the initial consolidation, or excuse me, initial replication, has just consolidated to our VM that's going to be powering on here shortly. So we can see the power on task just hit on there. Let's go back over to my tenant environment, and let's go look at my organization VDC. So great, we have a VApp that was just created. We see our NVM02. Since this is instantiated up into a contained VApp, even though we have the both views, we can look at this from the VApp or VM view on here, and we get to see that. It's connected to our app network within the environment. And if we go and take a look at the hardware, let me go back over to details of the virtual machine. And if we take a look at the hardware, we should see the interface, network interface connected to my app network along with a static IP reservation that we established through vCloud availability. And let's go ahead and jump back over to my vCav environment. So we can see that we recovered it, it's ready to go, and it's failed over. So next up, I will finish up with my final recommendations and guidance, and that will close out this video series.